Oh no, for sure. Now that plays into it tremendously.
Yeah. Especially guys that came home and they went in and they had a baby on the way when they went in and they did 3 or 4 years.
Yeah.
That money built up into arrears. One guy came home.
Yeah, talking to the mic, boss.
Yeah, one guy came home. He had arrears built up to like maybe 14 grand and no job skills or nothing. So they let him go. He came through a program I was working with.
Yeah.
We was able to get him a minimum wage job.
Yeah.
So after taxes and then with one child at 17% a month.
Yeah, talking to the mic.
After 17% a month.
Oh, yeah, turn the camera towards him.
17% a month in terms of payment and then taxes and then the cost of living, he was damn near at the poverty line. He was basically under 10 grand where he was, at what they consider the poverty line.
Okay.
That's crazy.
Yeah, it's serious, man.
So then what you gonna do?
Well, you got to try and get them kids some skills though, so that they can earn some income. But it's not designed that way. Most nonprofits and social service organizations, what they try and do is tie you up in like weeks and weeks of programming, and instead of getting you certified, some job training skills, which may take less time, or at least have the promise of some. Like I like apprenticeship programs because it's promising based on your input. I mean your effort when you get involved.
Yeah. Okay.
I know some kids right now, their mother snatched them out of New York, took them south. Dudes is learning how to repair elevators, escalators, and things like that, masonry. And those jobs pay upwards of 70 grand a year after you finish the apprenticeship program. And you're being paid at least $20, $21 an hour to train for the entire year, 2-3 years. Wow. That's just my take on it, man.
Nah, man, we gotta just understand our options.
Yeah, we need to, man. And it's serious out there because guys with no education, the only thing they got is no hope after that.
Yeah.
On the streets.
Yeah, especially when they first coming home.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So, that's just one of the topics we're going to really get in today. My people, what's going on? It's your boy, Monte Carlo. And I want to welcome you guys to the Big Picture Podcast, man. Yeah. Episode 35, man. And I have my brothers in the building. I got my boy Will.
What's going on, y'all, man?
Will in the building.
I missed y'all last week. It's interesting.
Yeah, it's all good.
Brother's back.
Yeah, and we have our brother James, Mr. Bestiari, in the building. Back in the building,
Back in the building. 3 times.
Thanks. Yeah, this is third time, man.
Third time, man. I love it here.
We very much appreciate the brother for stopping through.
Definitely.
I would definitely want to give a shout out to everybody, man. I want to give a shout out to 2019. I want to give a shout out to 2018 for holding me down.
Yo, Happy New Year, yo.
Happy New Year.
Happy
New Year to all y'all.
Happy New Year.
You made it to a new year. Be blessed. Don't bring that garbage you had from 2018 into 2019. Okay, so this is a Harlem OG special. Okay, where we're gonna be shining some light on some of the Harlem OGs, and we're gonna also be talking about some topics that's going on in our community. All right, I want to give a shout out to the Positive Images They Never Show You, to that watch party. Y'all be lit all the time. I appreciate y'all out there. I also want to give a quick shout out to Kenny Reeds. He has an awesome link on the app called Medium. All right, he has some great stories that you guys should definitely go check out. It's other authors and book writers and just writers in general, who you guys can check out and catch some good stories. I also want to give a shout out to Miss Soraya Z Arden. Okay, she will be coming through. Some of y'all might know her as Z Bars. She will be back next week, and she'll be back on the 24th. So make sure y'all tune in next week. It's gonna be a Big Picture Media presents situation, and I think y'all really want to be a part of that. All right, so we gonna get right into it, man. I want to give a special shout out, to our brother Baba Lob, man. This dude right here, all right, he passed some years ago. He was Kareem Biggs' brother, Kareem Biggs' older brother, and he was actually the gentleman who introduced Dame Dash to Biggs. Okay, he introduced Dame Dash to Biggs, and he was like a mentor to a lot of the dudes in Rockefeller, the label, so he kind of pretty much helped, start that situation when it came to Jay-Z and all of them. So shout out to him. I was just, looking through social media yesterday, and then I saw rest in peace, happy birthday to him. Yeah. So I just started doing some research on him, and come to find out I thought he had died just in a car crash, but he had got shot 8 times, ran to the car, got in the car. We good? Oh yeah, sorry.
All right.
You know, he got in the car after being shot 8 times and then ran into another car. So this is a strong dude. Like, you know, that's crazy.
Yeah.
You know, but shout out to him. Shout out to his family. You know, it just you know, stay strong and keep his legacy alive. You know, and that is what, you know, Harlem is about, and that's what this podcast is about also. You know, also give another shout out to OG's Dame Dash. Shout out to Dame and Dash. I know it's been a rough couple weeks, you know, with the media with them, but shout out
Dame is doing good in the media though.
Yeah, I know he is.
He's not looking slow. He's not looking nasty
and the
right
crazy
now.
part about it is, you know what they say, bad media is good media. So if they want to look at it as bad, so be it. It's good media because he's doing good. He's chilling, you know.
Yeah, that's a whole nother bag of tricks right there.
Yeah, he's chilling. You know,
everybody know the difference between like a clown and somebody who's really about the culture.
Right.
Like, people want to go back and forth with the culture vulture word. Like, if you don't feel that people who are not from the culture are, you know, profiting from the culture, if you don't feel like they're a culture vulture and you want to give excuses time and time again for these people just because they're your friends or they may have helped you, like, that's not helping us in the bigger sense. Like, you know what I'm saying? In the grand scheme of things, I understand you got your relationships. You know, we all know a good Jewish dude. We done all sparked one up with a good Jewish dude. You know what I'm saying? That's one thing. We got to separate that from understanding that people like Leo Cohen are culture vultures. So the real ones know. Dame is real, and we know what's going on. We may not agree with him against Jay-Z necessarily. Most people, that's where they get the hang up. But against Leo, you know what I'm saying? Because
I really want Jay to come out and say
begins
something,
there,
man.
though. When you hear of Dame Dash, the bias already starts because of the love for Jay-Z.
Yeah.
Anyway.
So it's hard for people to even accept anything from him in the right tone because their opinion is clouded.
Right.
But Dame lost Rockefeller, or he was trying to do this to Jay, and Jay had to respond. Nobody really know the story. Like, it's
so many stories that sound good.
It's starting to come out now, like little parts of it. Like, but nobody really knows the real reason, man.
But who is Flex, right, to assume control of the cultural standard and tell people how and when they can use that word, culture vote, that term culture vulture, and what context they can use it in?
It's a twist. It's a twist. Like, the thing is, though, is that Hot 97, they're on their last leg, man. You know, they need that some type of hype, something to spark over there.
That's the problem with the whole capitalism shit. When you get money and when you got like a corporate powerhouse behind you, you feel like you're an authority because you got the corporate powerhouse. But the corporate powerhouse has nothing to do with the culture. The corporate powerhouse is using the culture to entertain a mass of people, but they ain't got shit to do with the culture. They're not even supposed to be picking what goes up on their shit.
But those are the wars that take place behind closed doors.
You know what I'm saying? But it's just like, as the people that are entertained, as the consumers, we kind of sit there and we don't really see what it is for what it is. Right. Like Flex, because he got all those people behind him, because he got a platform, because it's not only black people who are his demographic, you know what I'm saying? He feels like he can have an authority.
Yo, he's using his microphone like a bully pulpit.
Yeah, and he need to chill out.
If it's true, he needs to stop, because if it's true what they saying about how he rocking for somebody else and attacking the brother, then he should really feel played like right now. You know what I mean?
He need to chill out with that.
He need to apologize.
He needs to be doing stuff that's gonna, promoting stuff that's gonna bring us together, man. That's gonna help some of our businesses, to excel. Like, use the platform for something good, bro. How about that one?
Yo, but like, I don't know if anybody out there read The Art of Seduction, right? There's a part in The Art of Seduction by Robert Greene where they talk about creating triangles.
Facts.
So I feel like, because this came out of nowhere, like Dame and fucking Leo they've been going back and forth for years.
Right.
This shit just popped up on some new, like, adding fuel to the fire.
For a reason, it had to go to another level right around now, right?
Yeah, like there's something like Flex is either creating a triangle to get himself up the ladder. You trying to get up another rung, or something else is in the works that we don't know about.
Who promised him what?
Yeah, like something happened. Like he's promised something because this shit comes out of nowhere, man.
Out of nowhere.
And he's just creating a triangle so that it could bring his name some energy. Because like, who cares about Funk Flex right now? Like, yo, the shows ain't popping on MTV no more. We're not looking for him to like, you know, do none of that type shit. I mean, nobody's listening. The radio's dying.
Yeah, he needs somebody. Somebody sent him a bag. Was like, yo, listen, I got an idea.
It's too much independence out
Pump
here.
this, and I got a bag for you, and then it's gonna help the rating. It's gonna help you on YouTube. You know,
he might be
Cohen's
offered
on
the
YouTube.
position at YouTube.
Hello.
Like we might not. We don't be
It's the-
surprised.
yeah, that's the
Oh,
big
no.
picture.
Don't be surprised.
Come on, it's deeper than
Don't
that,
be
man. It's deeper than
surprised.
rap.
Like
Hey,
if Flex
it's
get a
deeper than
position
rap.
at YouTube, like whatever
Yeah.
Leo got a hand in, like you
he
know,
gonna
and I
make sure he
understand
good.
it. It's
But he has to
politics.
understand though that he's gonna have to be dealt with. There's a system of checks and balances that deal with people that operate like that. You know, and he's gonna probably create his own you know, bit of havoc in his own life. You know, making poor decisions like that. You can't even if you don't like a person, you can't show your hand to the media. Not nowadays.
Yeah,
It's
not
really,
now.
really important that we kind of like click. We need to click. We need to show each other. We need to show like other cultures that, you know, there's strength in numbers, man, and it's undeniable that people can't take for granted a group of people if they're unified. And so that was a bozo move on his part, if I must say so myself. I think what he should have did was he should have fell back, thought about it, and looked at if there was a deal, he should have thought about that too, and then went to Dame.
Yeah, because what Dame is pushing is entrepreneurship. You know, that us as a culture, you know, it's nothing wrong with working a 9 to 5, but be able to invest in your brand, be able to invest in something that you dream, something that you love to do. You know, some people they get the wrong message through his delivery. You know, and that's
like,
that's
I mean,
the crazy
changed.
part.
He changed the big way in which I think. Like I no longer think of like just because somebody has a higher position than you that they're your boss, right? Because like, you know, when he did that Hot 97 interview, like he was adamant about like not having a boss,
Right.
and so to me that doesn't say don't have a job.
He wasn't saying
That
that.
just says don't have the mentality that somebody is the boss of you.
and be okay with
like,
that for
don't,
like ever.
don't ever be
Yeah.
okay with that. So if you working at the Gap or if you working at Pathmark and you on the registers, right? You don't have bosses. You have managers. You have people who may manage you, people who may supervise you, people who may, you know, distribute the checks, people who could fire you, but you don't have a boss. You gotta what he was saying to me was that we got to get out the mentality that it's like a worker and a boss. And if we stop giving that power to people, we'll be able to like, you know, hold on to some of it for ourselves.
Hey man, it's so crazy that you spent it like that, because when I do my employment workshops, that's the same thing. That's the exact same thing that I try and instill in people, that the fact that like even the companies that pay me, like I don't work for them. Like we have an agreement. When I went to HR and we did the paperwork, it never said that I now work for you. It always talked about agreements. So we have an agreement. What that means for me is that if I bring a particular skill, you compensate me for my skill.
Facts.
A lack thereof on either other parts, then the other party can dissolve the relationship. So that's to me, that's boss mentality.
That
You
is.
know, and taking
That is.
care of your responsibilities at the job without having anybody micromanage you.
And that's why some people go crazy. They don't know how to act at the job, because then they get this depression, they get this anxiety. Like there is no promotion, there's no way to go from here. But no, listen, what do you love to do? You know what I'm saying? What's your drive? What
Right.
makes you happy? What puts a smile on your face?
Right.
Invest in that. Take a little
Absolutely.
10% from your check, invest in yourself, because whatever you invest in yourself, now you can go to work feeling a lot more better. You know, you don't feel so depressive. You don't come home depressed. You don't
We
come
gotta
home.
we gotta break the cycle,
Yeah,
because it's
now,
like
yeah.
it's like you
'Cause now the
need,
kids, they see
you
that
need
energy,
money,
and it's just
right?
like,
you need
yeah.
money to eat and to enjoy certain parts of life, right?
Mm-hmm.
But you need to work to get that money.
Mm-hmm.
So a lot of times people are working to get the money to like alleviate the stress for a weekend or for 2 days that they get off, and then they going right back to work to get the money to alleviate the stress to go back to work.
So it's like they're working in a cycle. It's like they're in a
so
cycle.
Like
it's like
at some
that's
point,
the rat race, man.
it's the rat race. So at some point,
yeah.
we have to break
the cycle.
break that cycle, and you might have to say like, in a month, I get 8 days off in a month. All right, I could rest on the first week, maybe, but the next 2 weeks in the middle of the month, maybe I can't have no days off from my regular job and my hustle, or my regular job and my my side ventures. Like we got to probably just stop working to chill, because if we work to chill on the weekends, we're not getting nothing accomplished. Like you got to work to do a little bit more work.
That whole hanging on the block, I done bust my ass 5 days out of the week just to come to the block on a Friday night. Blow a couple bills, and then you go home. Your wife is mad at you. You mad at yourself because the dudes on the block, they talking a bunch of nonsense. So now the whole block is depressed.
And you literally bought into it.
The whole block is depressed. So at some point,
we do it in so many different ways. Like that's one example. We got the club kids. The people who think about all the single people you might know right now. Like they're able to hit the club every weekend. They doing Henny Palooza and Duce Palooza, and they going all kind of. They living their best life, and that's cool. But at the same time, a lot of them are just living still check to check, and and they still
and making it look good check to check.
Yeah, it just really look real good.
Yeah,
but like we all got to try to figure out like if we want to not just be somebody's worker. Like how do we invest in our own talents? How can we break the cycle? Yeah, like and break that. How can we break the cycle, man?
Yeah. So man, I'm gonna touch on a couple of current events that happened the past couple of days. So on New Year's Eve in St. Petersburg, Florida, a customer at McDonald's by the name of Daniel Willis Taylor, 40-year-old white male, yelled at a black cashier named Yasmin James, reaching across, grabbing her. Okay. Now, mind you, this man probably went in there depressed, mad about something. Could have been mad about his job, could have been mad about his wife, okay? Well, she fought back, punching him in the arm and face, and the manager's response was to check his order. All right, now Daniel was charged with 2 counts of simple battery misdemeanor. Okay, I don't know if any of you guys saw this on YouTube, but that girl, her right jab,
you damn right I seen that shit. That was beautiful. Beautiful reaction
her
time
right jab is crazy.
On behalf of the young lady.
She was kind of crispy with the snapback. I just wish she had more power.
Yeah,
his head wasn't like it wasn't. Yeah,
because it was like they was kind of skimming off. Skimming off the side. She ain't getting with nothing solid enough to rock his head.
Yeah,
but she got speed.
But this is what we talking about. She shouldn't have to defend herself like that though.
Now I was gonna get to that part.
This is what we talking about, man.
Congratulations to her. Applause for her being able to defend herself so quickly. Shout out to her reflexes.
No, because shout out to her reflexes.
The response time was great. Like she got
as soon as dude grabbed, because she's standing there like this. As soon as dude grabbed her, like as soon as he thought about grabbing her,
like she was ready. I appreciate her for that.
Lady Mayweather.
Who I don't appreciate is whoever the fuck was halfway holding her back.
Yeah,
the black dude holding her back, not really getting her out of reach.
Just that shit is not supposed to happen. Somebody else is supposed to come around the counter and hit him with a haymaker. I'm talking about because he's engaged with her. He's holding on to her getting punched.
Yeah.
Somebody else is supposed to come around that counter and just like lay his ass out. But we've become so individualized as a society.
They was probably looking for their phones to see who they could, how they can tape it or what have you. But all right, so this was my thing. All right, why didn't they make this man leave the premises? Because if this dude was black, all right, and he'd have punched a white girl, the manager wouldn't have been like, oh, what's your order? The manager would have been like, get him out of here, get this black man out of here.
Right, leave the premises.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Okay.
Or they would have tried to lock him in and call the cops.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah,
to assure he was arrested.
Yeah. Hey man, I got a different type of mentality when I see things when it comes to things like that. My thing is, it's only easy. It's easy for folks to do things like that or just have the notion in their mind that they can do that because there's never any valid repercussions.
That's that whole Black Lives Matter, like because they don't care. Oh, he's black. I can treat her the way I want to treat her.
Man, listen. We need to do better, man. I think the first thing, man, we gotta have a better representation. People need to respect that. If they don't have no respect, they're gonna keep yanking.
Now, are they doing this because we don't show respect to our own brothers and sisters? They see how we act on the street. is
I
no
don't think
excuse,
it- I
right?
don't think
It's
so.
because it's before that. It's before that.
It's what everybody gets. Is what people get a load of when they look at the African American young people, man. It's what you get from the media. It's what you get when you hit the train station. What you hit the blocks, the streets, the movie theaters, some restaurants, nightclubs, everything. The social media profiles. We honestly, we really don't give people a whole lot of reasons why to respect us as a group. Group, you know what I mean?
Shout out to D. Higley on the anxiety and depression support group. She said the customer should not have grabbed her. Good for her. All right,
Yeah,
so
definitely-
that's love right
definitely
there.
shouldn't have touched her, like.
Yeah.
No love over here.
Yeah. So shout out to her. I hope McDonald's looks out for her, gives her like a promotion.
McDonald's ain't about
Give
the
her
food.
Nothing.
give her a
Already-
promo, a little vacation
Nothing.
or something like that. A little mental vacation. You need a mental vacation after that though, bro. Like that ain't something. And Yasmin too. That sound like you don't mess with no chick named Yasmin.
You
man.
don't.
Yasmin, what's it like? Yasmin James.
She sound like she might know how to fight.
Like she got a right hook, right?
Like I know, right? Like
Y'all
in grade
I
school,
think twice
right?
about it, Yasmin. Like, let it be
Grade
something
school
like
lunchroom.
Molly.
Like Yasmin punched me in my eye. Like
She got you too.
Yeah, man.
Yasmin, Tamika.
I knew she could.
Any
do
of
that.
those?
I knew it was on when I seen it. I was like, that's the same girl punched me in my eye.
Ah, shit. All right, so cool. So Travis Scott. This dude he's performing at the Super Bowl. All right.
Because Black lives don't matter to everybody.
Yeah,
Some
I
country
don't know if
music.
y'all saw him on social media the other day, man.
What?
He was going back and forth about the whole Mike Brown thing. He was like, it should have happened to him. He kind of deserved. Yeah, man. So, Travis Scott, man, I don't know if he's been hanging around Yeezy too long or the Kardashians or whatever. I don't know what type of situation is going over there.
First of all,
You
watch
know?
your mouth about Yeezy.
I'm just saying, man. Yeezy, he be saying some slick stuff, bro.
Listen, man,
Lord,
it's
You know?
what's going on, America?
we're all going mad.
We here, man.
We're all going mad. Nah, but yo, listen, Travis Scott, man, it's crazy.
He's an awesome artist too. That's the illest part
He's
about
not
it.
that great.
He's had some nice songs.
Wait a minute, who's Travis?
How you know?
You know Travis Scott.
What makes a song
What he's
nice?
doing?
All right,
You know
all
any
right,
lyrics?
All right, so I like this one of the songs on one of his albums that's out. I think it's the latest album. It's called Yosemite. It's Yosemite. Yosemite, yeah. So I said Yosemite.
Yosemite. I was like, that's a Bible. That's a Bible verse, isn't it?
That's
Yosemite.
a Bible character. No,
Oh man, the Yosemites.
that's a river. That's a land.
Like what?
All right.
Listen, you like the beat.
Yeah, I don't
will
know what the
say-
hell he was saying in it.
Listen, so we gotta
yeah.
stop giving so much credit to like rappers if we don't understand
Lord
what they're
have mercy.
saying.
Yeah, I mean, I like him. You can't put him up there with the hoes and the no way, and
We
even
don't
the same
know what he's talking
conversation,
about.
like-
What does he say?
Yeah,
You got one line.
Yeah.
You got one Travis Scott quotable.
yeah, he got about no.
Yeah, hit me
nope,
with one
nope,
of those so I
nope.
can understand what's going
Nope.
on with this guy first.
Nah, man, I
There's
don't
nothing?
have no quotables for that dude.
Anything can
it's
happen
the
at
beat.
the night show.
It's the beat. Yeah, that's one of the songs.
All right, so he's not
that's-
even responsible for that though. That's like the producer behind
I mean,
the boards.
but he produces as well.
Oh, he
makes
does that?
beats as well. So,
Shout out.
so
Okay.
Shout out.
All right,
Production.
so cool. We're gonna switch gears a little bit.
Yeah.
get
I
Travis Scott the fuck out.
Yeah. Child support.
Get the Super
All
Bowl the fuck
Child
out of
support.
here. Whoa.
A lot of our brothers in the community, they are depressed from child support. They go to work mad from child support, and they end up in psych wards because of child support. All right, and it starts off with, the relationship, making those payments, and then of course they might not have a good relationship with the mother, and then now they're just stressed out. And some of the situations are like really wrong. Like the judges, they don't care.
Oh yeah, it's
They don't care.
it's lopsided. To say the least.
and it's I don't know, like do you know I don't know, do you know any guys going through that, man?
I know.
Everybody knows.
No, I didn't want to
30
put him in that
guys.
No,
category.
I
Like,
know.
so I gotta know a nigga
No,
who on
listen,
child
no, I
support.
know a bunch of guys that deal with the situation.
Yeah.
I mean, like in my line of work, I meet people all the time that
Yeah.
go through child support situations, and it's never favorable for them.
Okay.
I gotta start off by saying this
Yeah.
though, right?
Yeah.
If men would stand up and take care of their children,
Speaking
they
my
would
language.
not find themselves being regulated by some other
Can
agency.
we get a round of applause?
But what about the dudes who are taking care of them, who are really doing what they do?
Okay, so
'Cause
now-
we got a brother that be watching every week, and he works for the city, and this dude takes care of his child. You know who I'm
Right.
talking about?
I know exactly what you're talking
saying?
about, and
And
that's
it's
that's
fucked
valid.
up.
That's valid, but I think it's like it's become like it's like an epidemic almost, right? And I understand that, you know, we have things to blame. We have white supremacy, right? We have mass incarceration. We have certain things to, you know, to put some of the blame on for fathers not being in the homes.
Yeah.
But after we start to learn all this information, why are we not implementing the new knowledge that we've learned to get around the white supremacy, to get around the mass incarceration?
So you saying as far as like the future, like forget about
because it's not just the men, it's the women as well, right? We have to both take blame for it, because some men are still not ready to be men at 50 years old, right? Some men are not ready to be men at 30. Some men are not ready to be men at 20.
Yeah.
And some women are ready to be full-on wives and mothers at 20 years old. You know what I'm saying? So men have to take accountability for when they're not ready. And women have to take accountability for trying to force the readiness of some of the men. Because if a woman is ready, she's going to try to force you to be ready with her. Or at least guide you to be ready. And a lot of times we have these children when people are not ready. A lot of men are not ready. Like it's comfortable. We may live with the woman. We may love her. She may have some of the bombest pudding in the world. But we have to be we have to be ready. We have to be ready to be fathers. And a lot of us are becoming
but
fathers.
Sometimes it's
at
too late,
16.
Will. Sometimes it's just too late. All right. And brothers, they just want to live their life. And the woman is not all right with that. And you know what they do to get back at them? I'm going to put you on child support.
Now, wait. Now, see, right there, that's the problem, because if studies show that if women didn't believe that there was some sort of compensation for them that they could use involved with the corrective measures that the child support system offers, they would not even file. They would not even file for child support protection or anything like that because there would be no. I mean, for most women, it has to be something in there that makes them feel gratified with the outcome, while at the same time demasculating the guy, the father. Yeah. And it never really works out, because if you have a bad co-parenting situation, it doesn't matter how much money you're getting on your end, you're still going to be miserable.
Yeah.
You know, so they accept compensation over the right to maybe get counseling instead. You know, but I really hang my hat on the fact that when men do change, like you were saying in the beginning, there's a lot of men that's out there that don't know how to document their efforts so that they can protect themselves when they get to court. Another thing is that when you got to look at the way the prison system works, and I'm gonna see if I could tie these two things in
go
together.
for it, please.
When guys go to jail, a lot of times in urban areas, some guys, they go to jail 18, 19, 20, and they have a child on the way. Sometimes they don't even know they got a child on the way. 3-4 years down the line, they come home, there's a situation, there's a young girl out there with a child. They have to kind of like get involved because of the pressure that's on. A child is 3 years old. The state has been paying her support payments, helping her out along the way. This guy has a debt to pay now. At some point, he's going to get hit with those payments. And he doesn't even have any skills, because look, we got a lot of kids coming home from jail in this situation, and then when they find out that they owe 12 grand, and that moving forward after they pay off the 12 grand, they're going to be having to pay maybe 17% of any income that they receive. So now that minimum wage is at $15 an hour, and you think about 17% of their income, you're already deducting after taxes or along with taxes another $1,200 a month, almost. You know what I'm saying? In some cases, and that 27 grand that you get in that minimum wage, that looks like 8 grand at the end of the year after you pay for the cost of living and all this other crap. You know, and put a guy that doesn't have no education, no skill set in a situation like that, and he on the streets. What's next?
He's selling crack.
Pills.
Putting himself right back in
scamming,
way.
Selling woman.
You know?
Pimping.
And
which leads to more recidivism.
More
which leads to another cycle. The cycle could just continue.
More victims, because crimes involve a lot of crimes.
But the thing is, there's positive things out there you can do. You just got to have faith and hope and just press forward. Like, I think a lot of times in our community, like we we look just at the corner. We look at what people next door are doing. But sometimes if you just like search YouTube, type in how to start my own business, positive ways, just start searching. You know, you're gonna find a way. You just gotta think in your head like, okay, you know what? How can I make a difference without, you know, getting locked up? You know what I'm saying?
We need more live advocates, incredible messengers for these young people.
You know?
Because some kids they can't see beyond the blood in their eye.
Mm-hmm.
You know, when you get angry over years and years, that hurt, that pain, that rejection, you feel cross when the lady that got you.
You don't even want to make eye contact.
Yeah,
with each other.
Mm-hmm.
you know,
yeah, it's crazy.
Yeah,
it's crazy out there, and it's crazy how some of these the youth out there, they don't even know how to respect their elders. Like some of the simplest forms, some of the simplest things that, you know, we were raised on. They don't respect their elders, you know. And I saw a post somebody put up. They was like, because the parents, you do that how back in the days, you know, you might spank a kid or you know, tell a kid something they doing wrong in the street, and they'll go back and tell their parents. Now their parents come downstairs want to fight you because you was keeping it 100 with your child, or you saw your child, you know, doing something or whatever. You know,
it's
so
because we have no sense of community anymore.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And
so
that
like
takes a lot from it, too.
everybody's like trying to keep what's ever going on in their house in their house.
Yeah.
I mean, and that comes with, I think that really started like with like the drugs in the community, like the 70s, 80s, because then it's like, you know, you got people that got something to hide, some money, you know what I'm saying? It's more money than some of the other people that's next to them.
right.
You know what I'm saying? And since this whole thing is based on money, if I got a little more money than you, and we all in a fucked up situation,
Yeah.
like, you don't have to try to take it from me, but if you know I got it, and you go through something, you may talk to somebody, you may mention it, and now there's other people that's willing to take it.
Yeah,
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And that's just because I might have a little bit more than the person in 6B, and I'm in 6A. You know what I mean? And because it's a ghetto.
we're not doing that much better, people.
It's a ghetto.
We're not
dog.
doing that much better than our neighbors.
We're not. Even if your neighbor got every pair of Jordans, man,
Every pair.
you're not doing that much better than you. We all just trying to figure it out, and we all in the damn ghetto. A nigga really doing better. Let's be honest. Niggas get money, real money, and get the fuck out of here.
The
They
cost
get
of
out
living,
the hood.
the cost
So-
of living is ridiculous, and then be on child support with very little skills. The best you can do nowadays is $15 an hour. That's minimum wage.
That shit is terrible.
And you can only get minimum wage at large corporations with like maybe over like I think maybe 25, 30 employees or something like that.
Yeah.
You know?
That's crazy. So we got our brother, Mr. Bestiari, in the building.
Yes.
If y'all don't know what time it is, and you from Uptown. What's your Harlem experience, man?
My Harlem experience.
Yeah. What is it, man?
Let me explain, right? So I was born in Harlem in 1968. I've always lived there, except for my time off. My Harlem experience was that the folks that grew up in Harlem basically had an idea of themselves where they were not much better. We never thought that we were better than each other. We just knew that we had something that made us stand out.
We're better than everybody else.
That makes sense.
Yeah,
That's a fact.
I mean, when we wanted to get on our bullshit, then we really did make it look like we were better than other people.
Yeah.
But there was a lot of pride in Harlem, a lot of competition, a lot of friendly competition in Harlem growing up.
It happened at Willie's.
Yeah. So that's fast forward.
Okay,
I'm just
okay.
thinking about growing up playing basketball, being a kid, and wanting to have clean pro-keds on.
Yeah.
And you know, make sure your sock game, even though you had the joints up to your knees, they was clean, and whatever else moms could put together for you, you try and remix it before you step out. But growing up in Harlem, the street activity in certain eras, everybody believes that their era was the shit. Like, you know what I mean? You couldn't tell me that the 80s era Harlem wasn't the flyest of all. But then you couldn't tell my older brother and them other guys that the 70s wasn't the shit. You know? But it was a beautiful thing. I was attracted to the allure of the streets, man. I gave everything I had to the streets. That's how intoxicating that trip was for me.
How you feel about the gang activity that's going on in Harlem now?
Now I think I really don't. there's you know what, it's like a double-edged sword, because on one hand, I can admire the organizational skills of some of the individuals, and the ability to wield like influence over other people's minds. I admire that, but at the same time, it's really not pushing people forward in a positive direction. It's not spinning in any direction where it's harmless. You know, the overall perception that people have of it is that these young people are out there, they're incorrigible, they're violent, they have authority issues, they have issues with authority, and that they're willing to do just about anything and for no reason.
Are they
at
depressed?
all.
Are they going through something at home? Or how do you feel?
Yes, 100%.
Yeah.
Yeah,
100% they going. I mean, 'cause come on, man. We got to look at when gangs were first formed out in L.A. They was formed for a purpose of protecting our communities.
right.
Right. I mean, obviously, you know, the government and other outside forces put things in the
Switched it up a
community.
little bit, yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And things got different. But these gangs now, they're family, right? They may be doing wrong, in our opinion, because we're older, we're wiser, we're not where we were when we were like 20-something, right? And even in some of the kids who are 20-something who's like just trying to go to college or whatever and just trying to do it the right way, quote unquote. Like they may be doing wrong to all of those people, but it doesn't feel wrong when you don't have like family, like real family at the crib.
Right.
Like, so when you have no family at the crib, when you got a mom that got to work 2 jobs to pay the rent because of the cost of living, you got a dad that may be incarcerated, you may not even know your dad. He may be gone.
So all you know is the gang.
All you know is your people outside. And we look at the young kids like they crazy, but in our different age groups, we do the same thing. We come together. Whether it's just on the block real quick,
at some point,
whether it's at a lounge, we may say we doing it in a grown-up way, and we doing it different, but it's a cipher regardless. So like they looking for somebody to be around, they looking for cohorts, they looking for family, they looking for brotherhood, and they not getting that at the crib. Yeah. So they got to get it from somewhere. So it's just like we gotta just like kind of.
Wow, that kind of lines up with the math today. Today's the third, understanding, knowledge, wisdom, understanding. Number 3,
we gotta try to understand these because we were right there
at some point.
It's just we outgrew a lot of things, and it just doesn't make sense.
Because back in the days, like the early '80s, it wasn't Bloods and Crips in Harlem. I don't remember.
But it was
seeing that.
It was
in the '80s. Nah.
And
I think it started like in the '90s,
people always
in the late '90s.
There was always cliques, gangs, and gang mentality.
Yeah.
I think that it's had a.
Oh yeah, the Decepticons.
Yeah, it was always there.
Like that, yeah.
It wasn't so much of a. It wasn't as polarizing as it is now. I think because a lot of gangs right now they're using like guns, firearms, and stuff to settle beefs. I remember when you just had to fight. It was like a street fight. Like everybody would fight or one-on-one or something like that. You know, on no level, the person that I am today, on no level can I actually condone violence, right? I understand that it becomes a part of the gang culture because when they have all this energy and output and they don't have any direction for it, it usually turns on themselves, and that's or their community, and that's what's happening right now. It's not a good look by no means, but I get it though. I the fact that there was nothing at home for them. I can't claim that. I had both parents in the household until I was at least 14, and at that point, I started making my own decisions. So I can relate to how guys are trying to compensate for not having a father, or even a mother in a lot of instances. It's that gang culture, and then when you upset and angry every day, when you don't have an understanding of why you live in the way you live in, you ready to fire, you ready on whatever, like basically, and these guys is validating your shit.
And this is why hip hop was created.
Yeah.
This is why hip hop is even a thing, because this was going on in the 70s. And they wanted to get kids off the streets. They wanted to get kids to stop killing each other. Right. And this is where these parties come from. Kool Herc, you know what I'm saying? He put these parties together for this purpose.
Yeah.
Look at us. Look at us. 30 years, 40 years later, hip hop is the biggest genre of music in the world. Right. And it promotes gang violence at the highest level.
That's the crazy. And that's when the gang violence in Harlem really started to really bang a lot. Was when the music started promoting it. You know,
of
and
course.
yeah, you
Validating
know, Harlem,
the
New York is
lifestyle.
damn near the mecca of music, of the music
Right.
industry. You know, so when I saw that, I was just like, oh man, I see it right now.
Yeah,
man.
everybody's
See it
trying
right
to
now.
emulate what they see in videos, while videos is trying to emulate what they see on the street. So when you have that type of play, where the artist is emulating the street culture, the artist can take it on a large scale and have a lot of people view these behaviors, and then try and now you have more people emulating it. And most people know that if you try and replicate a behavior on the street, you're gonna get checked by the streets, or you're gonna come correct, so you can avoid being checked while you out there. So everybody is up in the ante. That's why people are super violent, super predators. They calling our young people super predators now, because of the way they commit acts of violence and the reasons behind it, or the lack of reason.
Okay.
Man,
Well, yeah, man. Listen, I hope everybody who's been tuning in, listen, just take heed to what we're saying. If you can't relate to it, share it. Somebody that you know or friends with might be able to relate to it. I want to give a quick shout out to our sponsors, Sweet Mama's Soul Food in Harlem, 689 Lenox Avenue.
Yeah.
Much love to them. Y'all gonna be seeing a lot more of Big Picture Podcast, doing different things this year. Stay tuned. Have a blessed new year, all my people, and stay safe.
I got a shout out. Can I get a quick shout out?
Yeah, quick shout out.
I want a real quick shout out myself, Mr. Bestiari. We getting ready to take 2019 to another level. Look what we getting ready to do. This is what we getting ready to do. We got workshops and open forums. My friend Cheryl, I love you to death from Go Hard Dance. You let me use your event space. We're gonna kill it. I love you.
Facts.
Yeah, all right, peace out, y'all.
Get a kid's options.
Yeah.
That's why my brother, he was talking to somebody. Yo.